So one of my favorite family traditions is to make cinnamon swirl bread for Christmas. And I used to give it away as gifts and then keep some just for our house. And then we discovered that if you slice it up on Christmas morning and you make French toast out of it, it's really, really good. So today we're going to make cinnamon swirl bread. I'm going to start with half a cup of sugar, a quarter of a cup of brown sugar, and a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. And we're going to swirl it, whisk those together. Oof. That looks good. Then I'm going to take 1 1/4 cups of milk that I've had on the stove. I've put it on low for about 10 minutes so that it can get just warm. I don't want it hot. I don't want it boiling. Just want it warmed up just a little. So that's 1 1/4 cups. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter that's melted and cooled. And 2 egg yolks. Whisk that together real quick. All right, now in my mixer, I have 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add a tablespoon of yeast. I'm going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. And then I'm going to add a cup of this cinnamon sugar mixture that we just made. Just like that. Then we're gonna stir it together. And then slowly, I'm gonna add the milk mixture. And I wanna mix it until the dough just comes together. And then we'll put it on high. All of the dry ingredients are getting stuck on the sides, so I'm just going to push them and mix them around a little to get the dough to come together. Let's try this again. It's working much better. So we're going to form a dough, and then we're going to let the dough, the mixer, do the kneading of the dough for about 8 minutes. At 4 minutes, we're going to check it. As long as the dough is coming off the sides of the bowl, even if it's still sticking to the bottom, it's good. If it's not, if it's sticking to the sides of the bowl, we're going to have to add more flour. So I'm going to turn this on high, and then we'll be back in 4 minutes to check the dough. Dough is still sticking to the sides of the bowl. So I have another 1/2 cup of flour that we're going to add. I'm going to turn it on low to incorporate the flour. I'm going to turn it back to high and knead for another 4 minutes. for 8 minutes. I'm going to take a bowl and just spray it with Pam cooking spray. The dough's going to be a little sticky. Don't worry about it. It'll stop being that way once it rises. And then I'm going to pour the dough into this bowl. I like to use a bowl that has a lid. If you don't have one that's big enough for it to rise, because this needs to double in size, just use saran wrap. But make sure you spray the top of the saran, or the bottom of the saran wrap that's touching the dough, so it doesn't get stuck to it when you go to take it out. Because as you can see, the dough is very, very sticky. There we go. And now I'm going to spray the lid to my bowl so that if it rises, it hits this and doesn't get stuck. And now we need to sit this in a cool, dry place for about an hour and a half to 2 hours so that it can rise. It needs to be double in size before we move on to the next step. So our dough has had time to rise. Just so you know, in a cold house, bread won't rise. So we had to put a heating pad underneath it. That's what it's called. Anyway, we'll get to that because we're going to let it rise on a heating pad after I roll it out. So here's our lovely dough, double in size. Yay. Now I'm going to sprinkle some flour on my table. Pat it down. And we're going to roll this out. I like a lot of swirls in my cinnamon bread, so you're going to see me roll it out super long. You want mostly a rectangle. There we go. All right, now I have seen the filling go many ways. Some people use water. I'm using butter because I like it better. So I took 4 tablespoons of butter and melted it and cooled it down. So I'm just going to brush it on. If you don't have a brush, but you have a spray bottle of water, that works too, or butter or oil. Whatever you can use to kind of moisten the bread, the dough, so that the cinnamon sugar will stick to it. Okay. Now we added the cinnamon sugar mixture into our bread, and then we left about 2 tablespoons left over. That's what this is. So I'm going to take it and sprinkle it. Just like that. There we go. Now I'm going to take the shorter side and roll up. Just like that. I'm going to take the sides, the ends, pinch them, and fold them underneath. Just like that. And then I'm going to set it in my greased bread pan. I'm going to take that remaining butter and I'm just going to brush it over the top so it doesn't dry out while we're letting it rise. Again, It's going to need another hour and a half to rise again until it's double in size before we bake it. And we're going to keep, there's probably a tablespoon of butter left. We're going to keep it, and we're going to re-butter before we bake it. Remove all this. Our house is normally much warmer than it is right now, but it's a little cold outside. Didn't want to turn the gas on, the heat on. So what we're going to do is take a heating pad. I have a nice big fancy heating pad. It's very long. So I'm just going to stick my heating pad. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to keep it on low. That's where the L is. Put my bread on top. Put a towel on top of it so it doesn't get drafty. And we're going to let it sit here for another hour and a half so that it can rise until double its size. And then we'll be back to bake. So with the help of our heating pad to keep the bread warm, it has risen to double in its size. Took about 2 hours. And then now I'm going to take my last remaining tablespoon of melted butter. And I'm just going to brush it over the top and sides. And then we're going to pop this in a 350-degree oven for 55 minutes. And then we'll be back. So our cinnamon bread has been in the oven for 55 minutes. Now it is out. We got to let it cool about an hour, and then we can slice into it. I'm so excited. If I could portray how this smells through the internet, I so would, because it smells divine.